The main gateway to South Korea, Incheon International Airport. The front line in the country's defense against COVID-19.
전 세계적으로 코로나19 유행이 재확산되고 있습니다. 공항 검역 단계에서 진단 검사를 실시해서 코로나19가 지역사회로 유입되는 것을 철저히 차단하겠습니다.
해외 유입 확진자에 대한 관리 강화가 필요해 보입니다.
방역 강화 대상 국가에서 입국하는 모든 외국인은 음성 확인서를 의무적으로 제출해야 합니다.
In pre-COVID-19 times, a daily average of some 200,000 people used Incheon International. This plunged 97% to a mere 6,000 or so in October. Incheon Airport is doing everything to contain the spread of COVID-19.
One thing I think a lot of other countries can learn from is how they handle things here in the airport. Personally, when I came here, I felt really safe from the time I landed till the time I left. And I think a big reason why Korea has been able to contain the virus so well is because of how they handle things here in the airport. So come with me, I'll show you how they do things. Let's go.
Stringent screening procedures begin as soon as travelers land. An exclusive arrival hall opened under special entry procedures introduced in March. Everyone flying in from abroad, Koreans and foreigners, must abide by quarantine procedures.
Once you arrive, to get through the first step of quarantine, you're going to have to fill out these 2 travel record declarations in order to get to the next step. They make sure you keep your distance with these green lines. You have to keep a 6-foot or 2-meter distance in order to stay safe. So let's go.
Incoming travelers receive temperature checks at quarantine stations and hand in health declaration forms.
안녕하세요.
Is this your isolation address?
Yes.
Can you use this phone number now?
Yes.
Okay, no symptoms?
No symptoms.
Are you taking medicine?
No, I'm not.
Did you visit hospital within?
No.
You have to self-quarantine 15 days.
Okay.
And you should COVID test within 3 days.
Thank you. 감사합니다. So I just got my temperature back. I got 36.8, which is safe, and so I'm ready to go on to the next step. But before I can go explore Korea, I'm going to have to quarantine for 15 days in a facility. So
If no symptoms are found at the quarantine station, you move on to the next step. Next, installing a safety protection and diagnosis app for self-quarantine.
now we get to the next step where you have to download the app. And in here in Korean it says 자가격리자 안전보호 앱 설치 안내, basically telling you to download the app. Gives you a QR code for the Google Play Store or the App Store. And down here it says those who refuse to install the app or leave the quarantine area without permission will be immediately deported. So clearly they don't mess around here. Make sure you download the app. Given that the only way to enter Korea is by air, it makes sense that they are very strict about the app. They make sure all incoming passengers download it, and it's a reason why they've been able to stay safe in these times. So I think it's a great idea.
Hello sir, head over here, open your telephone. Did you download the quarantine application?
Not yet.
Okay, go number 2.
Okay.
And you're gonna pull up your camera and point to the app store.
Okay.
So once you actually point to the QR code, that's gonna pop up. And all you gotta do is once you download.
After downloading the app, you must consent to personal information collection. Type in your name, nationality, passport number, and other information into the app, and it's all done. Those under quarantine must report their health status using the app once a day during the 14 days starting from the day of arrival.
Now that I just downloaded the app and put in my personal information, I can go to the next step and they're going to tell me what to do from there.
After downloading the app, you must present the address of residence while in Korea and an accessible phone number to the quarantine inspector.
Hello?
I have your cell phone.
Yes.
A quarantine inspector checks if the app is downloaded on your phone, as well as the veracity of the address and phone number. Then, you're ready to enter Korea.
And will you stay in Korea for short term or long term?
For long term.
For long term. And whose phone number is this?
That's my phone number.
Okay. Can I check?
Sure.
Two things to explain to you. First of all, you should do this self-diagnosis twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. Before you go get for a test, you should click here, and then you can find this number. If you call this number, then you will get any information about class test. You understand?
The final step in the entry process, receiving a health screening certificate. For those who exhibit fever or respiratory symptoms upon arrival, they must undergo separate procedures.
기존 발열 기준은 37.5도인데 37.3도로 낮추고 증상이 없더라도 유증상자하고 함께 들어오는 대상자에 대해서는 따로 분류를 해서 최대한 촘촘히 검역을 진행하고 있습니다.
A COVID-19 screening center set up at the airport. COVID-19 testing can be conducted in 7 minutes. Those tested positive are transferred to a hospital or a treatment center. The complicated entry procedures at times cause conflict.
경찰 부르세요, 경찰.
Due to the stepped-up entry procedures, it takes an additional 30 minutes to leave the airport.
May I ask you your quarantine address?
I'm going to Seoul.
So if you go to left right side,
Okay.
there will be some information.
Thank you.
Travelers from overseas cannot use public transportation. They must ride an exclusive bus or a cab from a designated spot.
Hello.
Can I see your current place paper that you're with?
Oh.
Yeah, this one. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So, someone you're gonna pick you up, or are you gonna ride the taxi?
I'm going to ride a taxi.
You're gonna ride the taxi?
Yes.
There's a price at the front. The gangster, it will gonna cost 85,000 won. Is it okay?
It's okay.
Okay.
From when you get off the airplane until you come here and get your taxi, there's a long and complicated process, a lot of paperwork, but the most important piece of paper is this one, the health screening certificate, and they're going to ask for it many times in order to ensure your safety. And here I am at the taxi stand, getting ready to go. They're going to ask for it one more time. Let's do it.
Special entry procedures are preemptive measures to block overseas COVID-19 patients from entering Korea. Over 1,000 cases were detected upon arrival at the airport over the past 9 months.
인천공항은 코로나 팬데믹이 선언된 이후 국경 폐쇄를 결정하지 않고 보다 안전하고 효율적인 국가 방역 프로그램을 마련하고 실시하여 전 세계로부터 K 방역의 우수성을 널리 인정받고 있습니다. 우선 해외 입국한 승객에 대해서는 별도의 대중교통을 운영하여 전염병 확산 방지 노력을 하였고, 앞으로 공항 내에서 즉시 코로나19 검사를 실시할 수 있는 인천공항 코로나19 검사센터를 설치 운영할 계획입니다. 또한 세계 최고 수준의 공항 방역 시스템을 유지해 나갈 계획에 있습니다.
A normal day at Incheon Airport has completely changed since the outbreak. Taxis are frequently disinfected to fend off the virus.
승객을 모시면서 최대한 접촉을 하지 않고 이동 중에도 대화를 최소화해가지고 고객과 저의 안전을 도모하고 있습니다.
Inside the airport, 24 professional staffers and an 1,100-strong cleaning crew carry out quarantine operations every day. Elevators and chairs used by incoming travelers are disinfected with ethanol 3 times a day. Thanks to these efforts, Incheon International has been recognized for its safety measures, including a health accreditation granted by the Airports Council International. Incheon is also exporting some of its quarantine know-how and expertise by signing contracts on crisis response consulting with foreign airports. Incheon Airport aims to become a COVID-19-free airport through airtight quarantine control.
I'm now leaving China, heading out to South Korea. On the way off the plane, we stopped. They actually took this little gun and measured my temperature on the way in. And then they just gave us this little wipes so we can clean off our skin. Clearly they're cleaning everything, even on the rails.
At Incheon, a quarantine system is also in place for departures. Every person leaving the country goes through a 3-phase temperature check. A thermal imaging camera checks for fever at the entrance of the passenger terminal. Another temperature check is conducted on the departure floor.
So here we're at the second checkpoint, part of the thorough process, not just for arrivals, but also for departures.
Body temperature of over 37.5 degrees requires an epidemiological survey at the airport quarantine inspection office. Even after passengers safely reach the boarding area following 2 temperature checks, they need to go through one last checkpoint at the airline's boarding gate. If there's a request from the country where the flight is headed to, passengers with high fever may not be allowed to board the plane.
So we're about to hit our third and final checkpoint in the process, and as you can see, they make sure you're nice and healthy before you take off.
The multi-stage complex quarantine process clearly takes more time. But in the COVID-19 era, safety is the paramount concern.
Thank you guys for spending the day with me here in Incheon Airport, going through the process. And a big thank you to everybody who works here to make sure the whole process is smooth and safe. And if we all work together, I think sometime in the near future, we'll be able to return to normalcy.
COVID-19 will not likely go away in an instant. Until there is an effective treatment available, our job is to contain infections at home and prevent patients from entering the country. In this light, efforts made by Incheon International Airport is more crucial than ever as it continues to write new history on Korea's airport quarantine front.